Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about silver mining and an article I came across suggesting that we may have reached peak mined silver or approaching it. But before I do that, I just want to talk briefly about the little display I have here. I have been fiddling around with the lights and the framing and everything like that. So I do kind of like what I've got going on here. And I wanted to put this coin out because I haven't really shown it off too much since I unboxed it. I absolutely love this America the Beautiful coin here. This is the 5-ounce Tuskegee Airman. This is the last coin in the series, the America the Beautiful series. The one that comes straight from the mint. I love that it's got that burnished look where it's not just all the polished finish. So this coin doesn't make it into too many videos, but I wanted to put it out there just to show it off because I do love that coin. But yeah, today I stumbled across an article that was talking about silver mining, and they were actually suggesting that we may have reached peak silver mining. Not peak silver. They're specifically talking about silver mining and how the demand for silver is not being met fully by silver being mined. So yeah, in the article they go over some facts and figures about the different things that end up meeting the demand for silver, because they're saying mined silver isn't meeting that yet, so they have to look for other things, specifically recycled silver, which makes sense because a lot of silver is an industrial metal, and some of that gets a fair bit actually, according to this article, gets recycled every year, and that helps to meet the demand for more silver. So I never really thought of it that way. I always thought of it as, had to be mined out of the ground and all that stuff. Didn't really consider the recycling part of it. And as you'll see in this article that I'm about to show you, that yeah, it's definitely a big chunk. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to jump onto the computer and quickly show you this article. Okay, so this is the article that I found here. Is on, what is this here? Silverseek.com. And it says peak mined silver reached. And it's going down here. This shows, I believe it's 2020, that silver climbed 47% in 2020, and it shows some of the things here. Gold at 25, palladium right around the same mark at 25, platinum at 10, and it shows some other things like the dollar and the S&P. And where does it say here? Year to date for silver spot in 2021. You can see the movement. And I'm just going to skip over this part. I'll put a link in the description if you do want to read through the whole thing. But I'm just going to get down here to where he's talking about this peak mined silver concept here. So it says the concept of peak resource should be familiar to most readers and investors. It refers to the point when production is no longer growing year after year. It reaches a peak, then declines. And then going down here, he's explaining, he says, notice we don't say peak silver. It says we differentiate between the total silver supply, which lumps in recycled silver with mined silver, versus mined supply on its own. So it's going down here to illustrate. It says in 2020, mined silver slumped in the most in a decade. Obviously, we know what was going on with the shutdowns and things like that, so that makes sense. Where does it say here? It fell 5.9% to 78.4 million ounces, according to 2021 World Survey. It says, however, as a result of higher silver prices in the second half of the year, global silver recycling rose up 7%, hitting a 7-year high of 1.82 million. Then it's talking about demand here. It says, after a rise for 2 years in 2020, silver demand weakened by 10%, with most of the losses attributed to the fall in industrial demand because of closures, restrictions, all that stuff. So it makes sense. But going down here, it shows was industrial fabrication slumped to a 5-year low in 2020, leaving total silver demand at 896 million ounces. So obviously with the total that they have of 966 million, it covers it. But when you take out that 182 million that came from recycling, then that leaves you with 784 million. So if you're just looking at the silver supply from silver mining, it wouldn't reach the demand. You would be left with, it says here, 111.7 million ounce deficit. And I like this chart down here. It actually has a breakdown of the allocation of silver here. And for us silvers in the investment here, it says the coins and bars only makes up 18% of the total pie when it's broken down for the allocation of silver. So it's that big chunk there, that 51% from industrial application, that really powers silver, because that's mainly where a lot of the mined silver is coming from, and that's a lot of where the recycled silver is coming from as well. So obviously industrial silver is the biggest driver of what's going to be happening with silver prices in the future. So continuing on with the article, I'm skipping over some stuff. Like I said, I will leave the link if you want to read through the whole thing, but they're going to be going over some of the things that will be affecting silver and the demand for silver in the industrial sector, and solar is one of the main drivers here. And so solar says more and more silver is being demanded for use in solar photovoltaic cells, PV cells for short, as countries move towards adopting renewable energy sources. So it goes down here a little bit, and they show this chart. It says demand for silver in PV cells 2000 to 2030. So obviously they're estimating that last third of the chart there. So it's got this paragraph here talking about the big boom for solar in the next couple of years. It says that solar installations will jump 50% from 2019 to 2023. Solar power penetration is also expected to increase overseas, especially in China, as governments commit further to decarbonized agendas and ever-tightening regulations on power plant and vehicle emissions. And it continues on with more examples here. 5G, where we're requiring a lot of silver in the next couple of years. Same with automotive, and going down here to printed and flexible electronics. So they're just giving the examples of it. So basically they're just showing the boom or a lot of the silver that's going to be needed for the industrial sector in the next decade that's coming. And they're saying that the mining supply is already starting to dwindle. We're basing that off of 2020, and we know the closures and things like that. But with inflation and all that stuff, everything's getting more expensive. So it'll be more expensive, to hire the crews to mine for the silver, using that energy, all that stuff to get the silver out is going to be driving the prices up. So it looks like with the what's going on here, that the silver prices are going to be going up, not sure by how much. But yeah, that's the article. Like I said, this one I did skip through quite a bit, so if you do want to read through the entire article, the link will be in the description. I just didn't want to terrorize everyone with me reading for 30 minutes. Okay, so that was the article. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I went into my monster box to pick out one of my other America the Beautiful coins, because if you don't know what I mean about the burnish look, this one is the one that I wanted when I first picked up the America the Beautiful, and this is what I received. Now, I'm not complaining. I don't mind the look where it's the mirror, but I lean off to the side there so I don't do like a face reveal or anything like that. It's very reflective, very polished, but I don't like the entire coin being polished and reflective like that. You know what I mean? I'd like a little bit of frosting on the boat there and the Vicksburg. I'd like a little bit of frosting on Washington, but the whole thing being polished, I don't care for. That's why I really like that burnish look. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting article. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like I said, I didn't realize that the recycled silver was such a big part of the industrial demand, or meeting the industrial demand. So when I saw this article, I thought, it'd be pretty interesting. Maybe people would like to read this as well. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.